Let's cover the elephant in the room. You can't fix a broken woman. You can't fix a broken woman. I say again, you cannot repair a broken woman. Even if you broke her, you cannot fix a broken woman. You know if a woman is broken when you meet her. Let me tell you something. Any woman who has a child and is not with that child's father is a broken woman. Any woman who has multiple children by multiple men and she's not with either of those men, she is a broken woman. Any woman who has children that have been taken from her, she is a broken woman. Any woman who did not grow up with her father in her life is a broken woman. This is just the reality of it. The majority of the women you meet are going to be broken women. The majority of them. You can tell a broken woman. All these women are with these OnlyFans accounts, they're broken women. Megan Thee Stallion is a broken woman. Let's take it back. Lil' Kim is a broken woman. Look at what she's doing to her body. Look at what she's doing to her face. She's a broken woman. All around you, man, you see broken women. You can't fix a broken woman. And that's where many men go wrong at. You see the woman with the issues. I got a joint I'm gonna put up for y'all tomorrow, man, that's gonna be cold. It's gonna sum this, it's gonna sum the whole interaction with a woman up. If she knows you won't leave her, she'll never put forth any effort to make you stay. The more things you accept for her doing, the less she'll try to fix those things or correct those things. If she knows you're not going anywhere, man, she gonna put her emotional foot in your tail, bro. She gonna ride your emotions like a horse, man. She gonna ride you till you pass out. Till she puts you in a constant state of anger and frustration. When a woman gets you in a constant state of anger and frustration, bro, you have lost. You have lost. There's no recovery from that. I don't care what you say or what you think. If she knows you won't leave, I promise you, she is not going to sit around and act like she think you gonna leave. She know you ain't going nowhere. And so she gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse. And you know what's gonna happen? You still gonna stay. And you're going to look up and it's going to be 1 year and it's going to be 2 years, going to be 3 years, going to be 4. Think about a man who stayed with a woman who ain't worth nothing to him, man, for 5 years. Now think about a man who stayed for 10. Think about a man who 20 years in and he's still in it. And the woman ain't never showed him that. The woman ain't never did nothing to try to even make him think he's important enough to try to keep there. If she know the moment she realizes you won't leave, and it's early on. Let me tell you something, brother. The first test a woman gives you is just like the last test she gives you to find out how much you'll take. Now, when you look back in retrospect, you see how much you took. You see you took way more than you ever should have taken. You see it. You realize it. You feel like crap about it. You know why? Because you know you should have gotten out way before you did. I tell you, men, all the time, if you and a woman break up in year 10, y'all been breaking up since year 5. If a woman divorce you in year 10, she's been plotting the divorce since year 5. That's just the way it is. Dr. Dre old lady been plotting to divorce him for 10 years. Look at all these things she's pulling out of her hat. Man, she been planning this for 10 years. Ain't nothing he can do to combat what she doing because he wasn't preparing for it. She was. See, what you have to understand is this. When you show a woman you won't leave no matter what she does to you, she knows you're emotionally vulnerable. And so she's going to continue to push the envelope to see how emotionally vulnerable you are. And when you get to a certain point of emotional vulnerability, and it don't take a lot, but when you get to a certain point of emotional vulnerability, she starts to view you like a woman looking at another woman. Because this is what happens. When you are angry with a woman and you don't have any outlet, you store that emotion as another emotion. When you learn to control your anger like that, to where you don't even verbally lash out at the woman, you don't even chastise or put her in her place, you know what I'm saying? You don't even go cut one of her friends or none of that, man. You don't do none of that. That cousin that's been trying to get with you, man, you don't hit up and cut her or get some brain from her or nothing. You don't do nothing. You become emotionally docile. And it gets to the point where the anger don't even rise to the surface anymore. You don't even have to take a break from her. You just instantly dump the anger off into another emotion. Whatever other emotion. And more than likely it's going to be love. So the worse she does you, the more you love her. That's why when it's all over, a man can't really leave the woman alone. You can't leave her alone because you spent the entire relationship falling deeper, deeper, and deeper in love with a woman that you refuse to chastise. Either you're going to chastise the woman or you're going to fall deeper in love with her. Men be in love with women who are terrible to them, be trying to figure out how to get the woman to come back as she be done left them for their homeboy. They still be trying to get the woman back. You know why you're trying to get the woman back? Because everything that you are emotionally is tied into that woman. And there's a scary cliff to jump off that cliff to where you're emotionally just spent. You don't have anything to give. That's a scary slope right there, man. You ain't even got no love left to give yourself. Emotional vulnerability represents femininity in a woman's mind because her and all of her friends are emotionally vulnerable. So when you join the emotional vulnerable party, guess what? She'll look at you like a honey child. The more emotionally vulnerable you become, the less a woman has sex with you. I can guarantee you that. The more you show your emotional vulnerability, the less she sees you as a viable option for her having sex. So she'll run back to her ex or the dude at work, or, her work husband or whoever. She'll run to somebody else, man, because a woman needs masculinity from a man. And when you become emotionally vulnerable, you become less masculine. You can never allow yourself to become emotionally vulnerable to a woman, bro, because if you do, your masculinity is going to sift away from you. It's going to be sifted away from you. It's going to be, and all that rah-rah and all that talking loud and doing all that cussing and fussing, that don't make you masculine. That's more evidence that you're feminine. These are some things that you learned. Well, these are lessons that you experienced. Now, whether you learned them or not is up to you, but these are lessons that you need to learn. These are the lessons you need to learn. Never listen to a woman tell you how to deal with women. It's crazy to listen to, for you to listen to your mama tell you how to deal with a woman. What the hell she know about dealing with a woman unless she a lesbian? What does your mama know about dealing with a woman? All she knows is what she want from a man. How you gonna listen to your auntie tell you about a woman? And God forbid you sit talking to your ex about your new woman. Man, you guys have got to do better than you're doing. Every woman is gonna tell you from a female perspective. If she's gonna give you anything of value, it's gonna be from a female perspective. So what do? No woman should ever be your closest confidant. If you ain't got no man to talk to around you, man, that's gonna give you no game, you better pray. No woman should ever be your closest confidant, especially your woman. The worst person in the world to ever be your closest confidant is your woman. There's no way you could lay in the bed every night with your closest confidant pillow talking and shit. You should never be pillow talking with come on, bro. Your closest confidant should never be someone that you would pillow talk with. Ever. In essence, you should know more about your woman than she knows about you. Forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. You should know more about your woman than she knows about you. But you know what? She knew everything about you. You are open book. You are 5 years in finding out new things about her, finding out things you ain't know. 5 years in. And she probably was the one pushing for you to be open and honest. Now you didn't gave her your life story, your whole life story laid out in front. And you just find out that she don't know which one need to do her baby daddy. The dude she put him on or the dude she still getting on. You finding out, man, just simple things. Like her dad ain't really her dad and her mama ain't really her mama. 5 years in. You done told her by the time you had to wear your dad's drawers to school because all your drawers were dirty. See, let me tell you something, man. If things go sour, if things ever go sour, your secrets are her weapon of choice. Anything you've told her becomes a weapon. Anything you share with her becomes a weapon. Had a conversation with a cat man who was going through a divorce, man. Man, his wife was bringing up all kind of things in there. All kind of things in there. Things that didn't have nothing to do with divorce. She was bringing criminal elements into there and everything, man. I'm talking about everything she knew about it, man. She was throwing it up there in court, man, trying to prove, and none of it benefited anything she was trying to do. All they was in there to do was split the assets. They was just in there to split the assets, nothing else. Now, she did bring up some information about that, man, but everything else she was saying, man, bro, it had nothing to do with that. The judge kept telling her that has nothing to do. Well, telling her attorney, well, that has nothing to do. Man, listen, her attorney, like, do we talking about a legitimate attorney? Was in there, man, siding with her like they were best friends. She was in there doing all type of unscrupulous things in the courtroom, bringing up things that had nothing to do with it, that she knew didn't have nothing to do with it. But if you don't sit down and pillow talk and share your information with a woman, you ain't got to worry about that. Your life is never meant to be an open book for a woman. Her life is meant to be an open book for you. That's what men have to understand. You got to look back at those situations and make sure that you never put yourself in a situation where you treat the woman like she the prize. You ain't treat her like a queen. You treat her like a king. How you going to let a woman be your king? It's the book of Alpha running, man, homie. Read it.